Hey guys, what's up? FrameNix here. And today we're going to be testing out a really fun Ivara build. So as you guys know that her second ability, or Navigator ability, is really gimmicky, but in a fun way. Because you can do a lot of fun things with this. So the main definition of this ability is that you can control any projectile. And by that I mean any projectile, as long as this projectile are not hit scan, obviously. So this build is focusing on the melee weapon Zenistar, and as you can see that I've subzoomed off her Optimus Bow for Rattle Advance just to get more damage on the Zenistar. The Saturn is mainly for grouping just to show you that it's, easier in the Simulacrum. You don't need this at all. I would prefer if you use this, but you don't need to. You can go with anything in the secondary and primary as well. I'd preferably say use something to kill Acolytes in the primary and secondary just for like backup weapons if you end up losing invis, which you shouldn't, but just in case. So this is the build. Corrosive projection just loses armor. Some power drift. This is I wouldn't say optional, but you can switch this out. Empowered quiver is definitely optional. Piercing navigator is needed for this. It helps a lot. Trust me, you're gonna need it. Precision intensify. If you don't use Rattle Advance, you can go with other subsumed abilities like Korra's ability or Noko's helmet for energy regen. But like if you don't use that or if you're using something else, you can drop Precision Intensifier for just more base strength. And that's gonna boost up your damage for Navigator as well, definitely. Crepuscular because you're gonna stay invis, Fury for the melee weapon, continuity to keep some duration. As you can see, this focusing mainly on duration and strength, a bit on efficiency. We don't need range at all, because the only thing that Navigator is affected by for range is the multiplier growth, and we don't need multiplier growth. You'll see why in a second. So I'll just show you how the build works basically. We do have Naramon on this because building combo with the weapon is the reason why I have the Saturn in the first place. So just getting combo. As you can see, this weapon does have melee influence. I know that like people hate putting influence on everything, but you'll see why influence is probably the best choice because I did test out other builds, and trust me, just using melee influence is better than anything. So there we go, second ability. And you can see in the bottom right that the number on Navigator is increasing, that's the damage increasing. And like whenever it reaches its potential, it's gonna do the most damage. And you just start flying, and soon enough it's just gonna, yep, kill everything. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go here, let it go, fly all the way there, and I'm just gonna summon enemies and watch them die. And yeah, you can see that it also is really good for locking zones in, because everything just keeps dying. Like, I'm not even doing anything, I'm just trying to spawn enemies and they're just dying. And yeah, this is why I do like this build a lot. I'll show you the Zenistar build. This is the NUKE gas build. Gas because it keeps proccing even when the weapon isn't doing anything itself. And influence just to increase it. This is just an average build. By the way, the Navigator build does work with other weapons, like the ceramic daggers in Cornin, which is a pretty like it's not a good choice, but it does work and it's gimmicky. It does work with the fairies light stance. I'll actually show this to you because I do find this enjoyable. It's just gimmicky. I wouldn't say to use it in mission, especially if you're running like steel pad or high-end missions. But does it work? Yes. You saw for a second because it was a bit too quick, but I'll show you. And there we go. This is a bit fast, so yeah, you do have to watch out for that. Especially because it's an enclosed space, but in open spaces you can do massive amounts of damage, and yeah, as you can see, this still killed everything, so that's the Neferi build. It's just an average Neferi build, like, of course, influence build. Preferably put influence on the melee weapons. The aim of them does work too, the Incarnate form. Tenant Gregory is really gimmicky. I would prefer not using it at all. It's kind of just useless. The hate does work with the Incarnate. The Coryphil is an actual good choice because it does have some problems with it, which I'll explain in a second. But like, you can do this, building up combo. All right, there we go. And there we go. Yeah, 2.2 million damage per shot. The problem with this is, let's hypothetically, like, okay, we're down to 5x combo now, and you don't have much combo to go with. Let's say you don't kill the enemy in the first shots, and that enemy you can't really hit the enemy again with this projectile. Because if I'm gonna try like losing the, this is also why I have Fury on this, because it just helps like reduce that in a sense. But like, let's go this. Like, as you can see, I'm doing damage to most of them, but I'm not killing them outright. And now I can't pass through them again. I can hit other enemies and hope influence works, but yeah, this is the problem with this. And there's a few more weapons which I could suggest. It's just I haven't gone with it myself. The the glaives do work, but it's not preferred. The wolf sledge is actually a good weapon. I just don't have it built out. But yeah, the wolf sledge also does work. And Zenithal obviously is the best choice for this. I'm going to be showing you in mission now, so you'll see why. This build is really fun to play with. I'm going with the Death Cube because energy gen keeps me have a lot of energy. Like, you will run out of energy with this build with the Wrathful Advance. If you go with Noko's ability or some other kind of ability, like you could go with Varuna's ability, and because you're killing with melee weapons, you can put Equilibrium. So yeah, these are the Archon shots, by the way. Equilibrium, 2 parkour velocities, 1 for blast damage. This is for a different build, for Optimus Bow, and duration. Alright, I'm going to show you the mission now. Okay, so guys, as you can see, we're in mission now. We have the enemies grouped up. I'm just gonna... You can try getting combo. This is preferred because Zenistar's disc, you know, stays active for longer the more combo you have. If you can't achieve combo, it's still fine. You will still kill. This is gonna take a bit longer then. But let's just go here for... There we go. Get some energy from here. And there we go. This will start killing, as you can see in the top left. This can kill Eximus, by the way, as you can see. And yeah, this is just the UFO build. As you can see, we are draining a bunch of energy with this build, which is kind of the weak point of this build, but this does let you, like, gives you a motive to actually go out of the disc and go out to kill enemies. This Eximus is way too close to me. Come on. I think that might actually... There we go. Just barely. And yeah, you just go there, correct energy. Energy gen helps for this exact reason. You can group enemies up if possible. And yeah, we go back on Invis. Probably put Hush mod on Southhead or whatever secondary you're feeling to use so. It just helps a lot, trust me. Alright, we're gaining a bunch of energy. Group some enemies again. Even you don't need to, but might as well at this point. You can headshot with this, by the way. Like, if you just stay at their head, you'll deal headshot damage. And yeah, this build is really fun to play with. Like, it's just an ominous UFO flying. And you still nuke. I wouldn't say it's the best for multiplayer matches, but if you're playing with your friends, you can definitely, like, talk with them, and this will be like a slow, like, hiding in a corner kind of gameplay, but yeah, it does work. It does nuke. Not a fast nuke, definitely not at all. There's different builds for that, but it does work. It's pretty fun as well. So yeah, that's what I wanted to show you guys that this can, this is a really fun UFO build. Yeah. Okay, so guys, you can see that the acolyte has spawned in, and I'll just show you how easy it is to kill an acolyte with this. Just ominously travel 3, 4, 5, or even easily 6. And I don't even know where he is. Oh, he's beside me. Yeah, he'll be dead in a second. And he's dead. Yeah, it's really easy to just nuke enemies, kill acolytes, Thraxes. You can't kill the spectral Thraxes, of course, but their physical states you can easily kill. Heavy gunners don't stand a chance. And yeah, it's just a really fun build to play with. There's obviously better builds. I'm not saying mine is the best. It's just the one that I discovered and made myself, and it's really fun to play. Okay, so guys, that was the Ivara Ominous UFO Star build. I would definitely say that if you're having trouble with keeping up energy, switch Ratful Advance out for a Spore Spring, NUKE's helmet ability, and you can just stand on that, activate Zenistar, and yeah, you're good to go. This is a pure flex slot. This is for like if you're carrying melee weapons, and also like obviously going to carry some primary and secondary weapons, and you just want to stand on the dash wire as well at times, so you can do that with no problems. Fury is, I'd say, pretty required because it just helps like a real huge chunk out with damage. Precision Intensify if you're going with Wrath of Advance or anything that requires strength in the fourth slot, and Piercing Navigator. You can definitely mess around with this build. This is my Zenistor build again, if needed. You can, obviously, this is still not the best. You can definitely go with better mods. But yeah, this is just my take on the UFO Zenistar build, and I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Peace.